What's up, y'all? Alvin here. And the question is, why did I buy this when I already had this? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and I'm about to share them with you. All right, so let's get into it. So this is my Sony FX3. This is a pretty amazing video camera, video-centric, and there's actually at least one big budget Hollywood movie currently being made with this camera. This camera is the Sony FX30. It is sort of like the little brother to the FX3. Both of these cameras look pretty much identical body-wise, function-wise, feature-wise. The only really big difference is the fact that this is a crop sensor camera and this is a full frame camera. Now, there are some real advantages to the full frame camera. The main one being is this thing is amazing in low light. With the high ISO of 12,800 and a lens with the wide aperture, you can pretty much film in total darkness. I mean, all you need is a little candlelight, moonlight, whatever, and you can actually get some pretty good images. Pretty amazing. Now, one of the advantages of this one, having the APS-C sensor, it doesn't gather as much light, but because the sensor is smaller, you can use much smaller, much less expensive APS-C lenses. Now, I had a bunch of APS-C lenses. I've been using the Sony system ever since the FX3, so I have a pretty good collection of APS-C lenses, and I got the A7C, which I'm filming on right now. That was my first full frame Sony camera, and I started buying full frame lenses. So this lens is the Sigma 24 to 70 f2.8 lens. Pretty amazing lens, but you can see it is significantly larger than this lens, and this happens to be an 18 to 105, so it has a much larger range than that larger lens. It was much less expensive, it is smaller, it is lighter, and because this is a crop sensor, we're gonna actually magnify the range on this by 1.5, so that 105 is gonna give me even more reach, which is one of the reasons why I like the crop sensor camera. So in the 4K 120, this crops in even more. And for a lot of people, that is a disadvantage. But for me, that's actually an advantage, because when using this in 4K 120, I am usually doing some type of close-up work. And the closer I can get to my subject, the better. And that little bit of extra crop actually helps me, not hurts me. So that was one of the reasons I went with this camera. The other thing is I do a lot of unboxings or fly time videos where I like having a straight on view like this and an overhead view. And in the past, I used my A7C to be my overhead camera. The problem I had is that it is a little bit tougher to match the shots. So I did the white balance the same on both cameras. Obviously the lighting same because I'm filming all this stuff at the same time, but it was always just a little bit different when I went to try to match the shots. Much easier with the FX30 because it has the same color science as the FX3. So I have an easier time matching my overhead shot to my straight on shot. And it really does make my life easier when I'm editing these videos. I am not a professional video editor, and I am not a professional video color grader. So anything to make it easier to match these shots together is something that really helps me out. Now, another thing is the fact that this camera basically costs half what this camera does. Makes me a little bit less nervous about taking this out and being on the water with it, because what I do as a fly fishing guide owner, spend a lot of time in and around the water, and I have taken the FX3 out on plenty of shoots in the water, especially if I know it's going to be a low light type of situation. But I'm much less nervous taking this guy for $2,000 on the water than I am taking this guy on the water at $4,000. So that price difference really does make me a little bit more comfortable being out on the water with the camera. Now, $2,000 is not cheap, but for what these cameras can do, it is really inexpensive. And I've been really happy with the images that I've been able to get out of these two cameras. And I'm really glad that I bought another camera. Now, buying two FX3s would have definitely been a stretch. So being able to buy the FX3 and have the FX30 as sort of like my B cam, my maybe get splashed, maybe gonna do something a little bit more daring is really nice. So I am glad I bought the FX30 as a companion to the FX3. Now, if you have any questions about either one of these cameras, feel free to drop them in the comments. This is the first sort of a camera review I've done on this channel. This video wasn't really about sharing technical details, just kind of more about my thought process of why I decided to buy both cameras. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to the channel. Got all kinds of videos on this channel, anything and everything I think about filming. I really want to thank you for watching it. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. And in the meantime, I hope you are having an amazing day.